Hello, everybody. This is Brother Speak of the Brother Speak podcast. If I sound a little stuffy, it's because I'm suffering from allergies. Yeah, these allergies are killing me right now. But I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I saw on a live stream that Commendable K and the Faith Factor had last night. They were talking about the story of Deja Hagabook and how she was 18 and her husband was at first they thought he was 45. Turns out the man's 61. And they were talking about how she was probably groomed, she was being abused by this sicko. And how she was ranting and raving, talking about she's married. And boy, I tell you, that raving this chick did was cringeworthy and hard to listen to. It was like nails on the fucking chalkboard. And you could tell that this chick got problems. And you see this piece of shit dude on the side letting her just do that. Where they do that at? But I digress. So they were talking about that and talk about the abuse of girls at the hands of black men and black males. I don't call these men. Anybody who's touching a little girl, you ain't a man to me. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, male. You deserve to die in a ball of fire. But that's just me. So they were talking about that, and talking about how these girls get suckered into getting with these piece of shit males, entice them with cars, trips, jewelry, all anything that flashy to get these girls' attention. Okay, so this dude V Dub Boogie came up there and he was talking about, well, these boys are getting abused by these women. I got abused by these women. And so basically turning the conversation around and diluting the fact that there are black males in this community who want to prey on young girls. Now, look, is it the majority of black men? Of course not. We know this. We get this. We know. We know. But it's enough. It's enough. That is a problem. And it's a big problem. And you wonder why these girls are promiscuous, why they want to do shit to men, why they set up men. Because of shit like this. So now, V-Dub Boogie is right. There are black women who are abusing black boys sexually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Yes, all that is true. But you don't use that to counter the fact that these black males, these piece of shit black males, are mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually abusing these girls. That's just like saying, well, the police are shooting unarmed black men. Well, what about black on black crime? That's not a counter argument. They're both happening. They're both is a problem for black people. The harassment of police and killing of unarmed black men is a problem for black people. But also black on black crime is a problem for black people. They're both the same thing. So, yes, there are black boys are being abused by black women. That is a problem. And that does need to be discussed more. But you know who should be discussing it? Black men. We should be discussing that more. We should be talking about that more. But then wasn't the time. Then wasn't the time. The time for that is another stream that men should be setting up. Black men should be talking about that. The only one I know offhand who really does talk about that is Teapot, the prophet of thought. He talks about that a lot, which should be talked about. Not no in accusing manner, just talking about it. How these boys are suffering in these environments. Now, as far as the only time really, besides Teapot talking about it, and he's very serious about it, I've seen live streams where dudes talk about it, but they talk about it as it's nothing. There's one Dane coach who talked about it, that he was messed with by an older woman at when he was, I think, 8. And he thought it was a good experience. He actually thought that was a good experience. There was another guy on a live stream said the same thing. It was a good experience. And then when people were talking about, man, these boys should report that. That should be a big uproar. The guy literally said, no, you should report that. You don't report stuff like this. He's supposed to just deal with it. So, and that's that uncommon. See, the thing of it is, if it was a big deal to us men, we would be getting on the horn, yelling and screaming to the rooftops that this is a problem. But we don't do that. But there's a lot of things black men go through that the blogosphere do talk about, but as a whole, black men don't talk about because we don't feel that it's manly to talk about our pain. We don't think it's manly to express it. They'll call you weak, you're a punk, and all kinds of stuff. And again, that's men doing that to other men. That's other men. So in regards to this situation with women abusing these boys, men don't do nothing to these women. You don't see the stories of men beating the brakes off these chicks who are abusing these boys. You don't see those stories. You know, if anything, you see the reverse. They're praising the boy. Hell, some of these ain't shit dudes are bringing women in to mess with these young boys. Little Boosie, anybody? Little Wayne, anybody? Hell, my personal life, I was abused by a woman. I don't like to talk about it. And, when I think about it now, it was fucked up. But yeah, I was. All under my dad's watch. My dad didn't do shit about it. So, yeah, we can talk about women abusing these young boys, but they still under the care of these women. They're still under the care of these. You know that this baby mama is abusing this boy, doing all kinds of stuff to this boy, but you're not doing anything about it. Not going to court or do something illegal to do it. Y'all will sell drugs, do all kinds of crazy illegal stuff, for money, but when it's time to save your boys from danger, you won't do it. You don't want to mentor these boys? No, I don't want to mentor these boys. I ain't getting involved in the community. But you supposed to be caring about these young boys. You supposed to care. Look, I'm not expecting the women to care. I'm not expecting the women to talk about it that much. Because again, that's their reputation. That will kill their reputation. And I agree with you. There are a lot of things that black women have done that they need to answer for. Those dirty secrets that they need to answer for. I agree with you 100%. But guess what? A lot of that time, the evils that they done, there was a black man around, didn't do shit. There's a piece of shit black male who was so concerned about pussy and appeasing this bitch that they let shit happen. They will have sex while with a woman while the son is in the room. That's how trifling some of these males are. And then want to come talk to me about the abuses that women do. You don't want to sit there and allow it to happen. You don't want to sit there and allow these boys to get abused over and over. You don't do shit about it. It is because we don't want to hurt the women. Oh, we don't want to hurt their image. Fuck that. If they're doing evil, it needs to be called out and it needs to be exposed. I don't care about their image. I don't care about their feelings. I don't care if they look bad. That shit needs to be exposed. If we're going to expose evil, we need to expose all of it. But do not use it as a counter to the evils that black males have done to these girls. That's something you shouldn't do. Because it takes your message, it convolutes everything, and it just shows you're giving an excuse to these goddamn pedophiles over here. I don't excuse anybody messing with young people, especially stuff they ain't ready for, which is sex. Sex should be natural. Sex should be something that they discover on their own. And anybody who would take that away from a young boy or a young girl, you are a scum of the earth and you should be killed. That's how I feel. I don't care if you're a male or a female. You should be killed. Straight up. Because you're a monster. And in this instance, I don't care what it is. I will treat you the same. Especially if I had children. I don't have children. But if I did, and there was a woman who messed with my young boy or my young girl, she better hope to God police will be around. Because I don't know what I would do. But I would hope somebody would talk me out of killing you. Or at least find me a way to do it legally. That's how much I would feel about that. So I don't give no excuses to no pedophile dudes talking about messing with young girls. That Glendon Cameron shit was disgusting. And more disgusting was dudes was giving excuses for that shit. Well, the age of consent, it's legal. Who gives a fuck? Just the fact that this piece of shit dude was talking about it. In the area of R. Kelly, and a lot of rappers who get caught up in this shit, he talks about it like it's nothing. And you got supposedly black men who are defending this shit, giving excuses. And you want me to sit here and be like, Man, we got to defend these black men. Fuck that. I ain't defending that shit. You out your goddamn mind. Oh, well, you know the legal age of consent. I don't give a fuck about the legal age of consent. You know what? Because I'm not allowing that to happen. I don't care if the legal age of consent is 8. 1. You ain't touching my daughter if I had one. You ain't touching my son if I had one. I don't give a fuck what the legal age of consent. My legal age of consent is you don't touch my kids until they're grown. Now, when they're grown and out of my house, it is what it is. I will counsel them as much as I can, but it's their decision. But as long as they underage, they say in my house, you touch my kids, then we're going to have problems. I don't care what gender you are. We ain't going to talk. I'm not going to give you no talk. It's going to be, you leave my kids alone or I will kill you. That's how I would feel. Especially 13, 14, 15. I don't give a fuck what gender you are. You touch my kids, I kill you. And you better hope somebody talk me down from that shit. You better hope cops come to you before I do. That's how I feel about that. But again, black males using the abuses of boys to counter the abuses of girls, it takes away your argument. Now, me personally, the abuses of boys, I believe, is more detrimental to the community than abuses of girls. And I know somebody's going to be like, well, that don't make sense. But here's your thing. The boys grow up to be your protectors and providers. You take away the innocence of your boy. You take away that faith and love that he's supposed to have for women. You have basically took away him being a provider. You taken away him being a protector. That's why a lot of these dudes are pumping and dumping. That's why a lot of these dudes are beating these women, killing these women. They treat these women like they just cum dumpsters because you took away that boy's innocence. You allow women to abuse these boys, molest these boys, emotionally abuse these boys. You just took it away, your provider and protector. And we've been doing that shit for a long ass time. To the point now, we got to where they singing videos about pumping and dumping. You got men who say, I don't want to be part of this community at all. Let it burn. Now, I'm the anti-community person. I believe in individualism. But I believe it to a point where you do need to act. If you're going to build, you build your own community. But you got to be willing to get with like-minded brothers and sisters who want to build a community. Because again, we do need a group to move forward, to move the black community forward. Well, not the community, but black people forward. We do need to work as a group. And there are black men and black women who do that. They have communities that are safe. They have communities where black people are thriving. But you can't get to that and have more of them if you're divided. And every time the women are talking about their abuses, you want to bring up, well, we get abused. Okay, true. And that's a discussion we do need to have. We seriously need to have that. Even though, well, the women get it done more. Yeah, but the damage is about the same. The damage is still the same. You can say, well, it doesn't matter if 4 or 5 girls are getting abused. You take care. You do one. You just took away a protector and provider for a community. You just let loose a monster in your community. A monster who will not care if any other kids are getting abused. You abuse a boy, you'll turn him into an R. Kelly, or you'll turn into a Ray Caruth, or you'll turn into a Ramil Amir, or Mr. Palmer. Which one you rather have? Because if you take away a boy's love from the mother, you take away the boy's love for women, a natural love. You make it unbalanced. It's the land of extremes. He either becomes a pushover or he becomes a destroyer. You take away the innocence of a boy, he can't become self-sufficient. Or if he becomes self-sufficient, he won't give a fuck about the community. So again, I agree that that's a problem. Both are a problem. Now, well, one's happening more than the other. Okay, great. But the damage is still the same. The damage is still the same. And our community is bearing it out. You got dudes who making excuses for dudes to mess with young girls. You even got women making excuses for it. All these girls are fast. All these girls are this. All these girls are that. But that comes from when you let these boys' innocence get taken away by some ain't shit bitch. You just doom the community. Now, again, I'm anti-community, but I am about self-interest. Now, if you say you care about the community, you care about black boys, then you need to protect the black boys. You need to get in there so the damage that these females can do can be minimized. That's what you need to do. Black men, if you really care about these boys that you say you do, and hell, even if you want to spite the women, still protect the boys. In spite of. At least give the boys a chance. And don't use it as a counter to the women. Do it because you truly want to care about these boys. And you truly want a better community. Or at the very least, you want better for black men. Because I agree with CK. We do need a better class of black men. But we're not going to get there if we just allow abuse of boys just to keep continuing. We're not going to get there if we're not trying to do whatever we can for these boys. That's just it, because they are your protectors and your providers. You take away your protector, you take away your provider, it's free game. Now any dude can come to your girl or your boy, come molest your girls, turn her out. Now she's bringing other girls to him. She's becoming a danger to the community. They come get your boy, turn him out, or put him in a gang. Now he's a terror to the community. Either way it goes, if you want to protect, you want to help the community, if that's your goal, you need to start with the boys. You cannot have a community without its protector and provider. And you can't have a protected provider if you leave him exposed to all kinds of evils. That's where these dudes sell out. You want to talk about these coons and your sellouts? Well, when you don't protect these boys from the environment, they become your sellouts. They become your coons. They become your killers. They become your rapists. They become your murderers. Or they just become indifferent and don't give a fuck. Either way it goes, it's going to be a problem. But that's it. That's all my ranting. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Anchor. Follow me on Google Play. Follow me on Spotify. Y'all have a good one. Peace.